Hey, hey, hey! Welcome back to another RSG Lunch Stream. I'm Ranger J 1999, your host and part of the RSG crew. Glad to have you guys here. Welcome to the show. If you're new to the lunch stream and wondering what in the hell is this is where we hang out with you good folks for the next hour and a half, where we will do a roster review. We'll answer some of your questions. Stanley's got one of his fun games that we're going to play today. So we got a lot of fun stuff for you. And then after that, guys, we're going to go right into the events. We're going to kind of combine things. We're going to have me and Finn do the 3PO event. We'll do we'll look at my Grand Arena team. I figured I'd wait and attack. We'll look at how my defense did, and we'll do some more fun streaming afterwards. So lots planned. And then, guys, tomorrow, the big 12-hour stream is tomorrow. 12 hours to help us raise money for the American Cancer Society. Going to need all your help, guys, to support us and everything that we're doing. We got a lot of stuff planned and a lot of cool things going on. So please be checking us out tomorrow. That being said, let's introduce everybody. Before we do, make sure you hit the thumbs up on the video, like and subscribe. As always, is a big part of any YouTuber's day. And if you guys notice, we're using the new rig. We got the new rig up and running. I'm running in 1080p. We got a lot of other stuff. We're still working on stuff, but we had enough going on that we could do the lunch stream, and got the Yeti Blue going, and we got all kinds of bells and whistles going. But let's introduce everybody and get this show started. Of course, joining me is the one and only Dr. Finn, Medicine Woman. The Troll Extraordinaire is here. Oh. Mm-hmm. Oh, and the phone just went. Okay, there we go. Let me turn that. Ah, tradition. Also joining us is the big deal himself, the one and only Grande Pappy Patron. Yeah, I ain't got time for that shit. Well, drink for the rest of us. So. Well, I appreciate that. Also joining us is, of course, that voice you heard is the one and only Grim the Mechanic. All that other happy horse shit, yeah. Also joining us is Zala Takedown with The Apprentice. No one cares about that crap. Where's my apprentice? Okay, so let us fix that. Not a problem. We knew that we were going to have problems. Yeah. I'll have to set the desktop to the Yeti. There we go. All right, say something.
Haha!
Ah, there you are.
Haha!
All right. Well, we're still figuring it out. We got, we got some technical glitches there, so let's try that again. Dr. Finn, Medicine Woman, is here. Try it again, Dr. Finn.
Okay, so I sang the Friday song before, but I think I have to now sing it like Rebecca Black. So, it's Friday, Friday, gotta get down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend. Haha!
Haha. Also joining us, let's try this again, is the big deal Grande Pappy Patron.
Hi.
Oh, for Christ's sakes.
Oh, man. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing. We're still trying to figure out this stuff, so yeah, bear with me. I'm still. My mouse is really sensitive now to having to get used to all this crap. It's like, okay.
That's what she said too.
I gotta get used to this, and see what I can do here.
We have a whole new setup. It's awesome.
Yeah, I'm still figuring it out. It's like, okay, no, damn it. Also joining us is Grim the Mechanic. Introduce yourself again. God, it's really sensitive.
Hi, everybody.
That's what she said.
Oh, for God's sakes, this thing's not... I have to do it like this. That's really stupid. All right. Also joining us is Xylo Takedown.
What's up, everybody?
I heard my apprentice.
He's about ready for lunch.
What are we having? And of course, Mr. Gingivitis himself, Stanley Red, is here.
It's going good today. I got the 7 stars 3PO.
Yes, very nice. And did you have all Gear 11 Ewoks, some Gear 11s, Gear 10?
I had like 1 Gear 12, I had like 2 Gear 11, and 1 Gear 10 and 1 Gear 9.
There you go. So if Stanley can do it, my God, we all can. Alrighty then. I think that covers all the introductions. Yes. Okay, let's move on. Dr. Finn, of course, this is where we do our roster review. So let's get into it. We have NT22KO Hawks profile. They're in New World Empire. What's that?
Is that a Dark Lords Guild?
I don't know. Listen, I
Grande.
don't know.
They don't all have Dark Lords in the name anymore, so it gets very confusing.
At this point, you can just assume that they're Dark Lords.
Hold on. Let me go look at the roster.
Oh my God.
He has to go check.
He actually has to check the
Let me,
spreadsheet.
let me go cross-reference for a minute.
He
I'm
has
sorry.
too many. There's way too many of them. That's what it is.
I'm sorry. I literally have to go cross-reference. Let me go see what day is today.
So, oh man,
What day is today?
What day is today?
Is that what you're cross-referencing? What day is today in order to figure out whether this is a Dark Lords Guild?
No, this is not a Dark Lords Guild. Wait, hold on. Let me just check the rosters real quick. Make sure there's not. No.
So
this is not a Dark Lords Guild.
okay, so this person, by the way, is McVenom's favorite. This is Nathaniel Morgan.
Oh, I don't want to do this roster review then.
So we must be kind for McVenom with the
What?
roster.
The hell? What the hell?
So what he is looking for is hold on, I just lost it.
Well,
So,
his arena rank looks nice.
Yeah, rank 1. He managed to make it to rank 1 with the Treya team, so very nice. So Sith Raid, Territory Wars, and how to minimize his GP for the Grande Patron Arena because he went too hard on ships. And so he's also looking, he spends about 500,000 credits a day remodding, especially if he has to move 6 mods. So we're going to have to review his mods as well. So there you go.
Okay. What are we doing first then?
So let's start out with Sith Raid.
Alright, Sith Raid. Okay, characters.
So does he have Revan for P2? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, he does. It says something here. But let me
Yep,
look
he's winning rank 1 in Arena with
Let me look
Treya team
underneath it. It
because
says
his Revan is
F you
just modded
Grande
Raid.
suck a big fatty. I don't know why that says that, but that's what it says, Grande. That's weird. Oh god, they're doing they're changing the toilets out here, so if you hear noise in the background, that's me.
They're changing the toilet.
Yep,
out,
too much crap
in your
coming
mouth.
out of Ranger's mouth. They have to replace the toilet.
Well, it wasn't my mouth it was
Diarrhea.
coming out of.
Sitting on the toilet. Sitting on a toilet.
Alright.
Sitting on the toilet. Sitting on the toilet.
Roster looks pretty solid, just the general glance.
Yep.
This is so
Let's go
crazy
look at-
how fast this is. I'm still trying to figure out. I'm like, okay, I'm over clicking because I'm not used to this.
So resistance. Let's start with there.
All right, let's go to filters. Let's do resistance.
We might need to work a little bit on Scav Ray, unless he's running.
Unless he's running trooper.
Trooper
no, he's running
also.
Trooper.
So Trooper's gear 11. You really do want to get Trooper to gear 12. That will help you with your overall damage. Your BB-8 is okay at gear 11. Your R2's at 12. Your Jedi Training Ray's at 11. I think those are all fine. We have to look at your
Unless
5th
he's
is
running, he's running Hermit Yoda with that team. Hermit Yoda looks good. Or if he's running,
I'm
Visas
looking to
tomorrow,
see
he's
if he has
probably running
Visas.
H Yoda. He's Probably
No,
running
his
HQ.
Visas is not there, so yeah, he's not running Visas. Yeah, it probably
Hermit
is going
Yoda's
to be
12.
Yeah, so he's probably going to run Hermit Yoda as his 5th. And yeah, that's a solid squad. I would take Resistance Trooper up to gear 12 and then get the bayonet on him.
Agreed.
Yeah, I like
And
I
that
like I
will
like
get you
Scav Ray better, but that's fine.
Yeah, but his Scav Ray is already behind.
I
That's
know.
the problem.
I'm just saying, eventually, if you want to try it, just get her.
I actually do like Resistance Trooper better because he gets the Dispel.
Well, I
So
just use
when
my Ray for
Nyla
that,
steals from BB-8,
and
I can.
for me, I can do that with Ray, and my Scav Ray I just think hits harder. But I think both work really well.
Yes, they do.
You know, so
And
just
combined, they're even better. But
when
yeah.
their powers combine, I did try that the other day. I was like, I have to give it another shot. I didn't really give it the old college try there, Finn. But he does have Hermit Yoda, so that's really nice. Then we go into phase 2. He's got the Bastila team. He's got Grandmaster Yoda, got Kenobi. If you got your Hermit Yoda still sticking around, there you go. And then you can throw in. He's got a Gear 12 Mace Windu. I wonder what that's for. I wonder if that's for ships. Yeah, ships maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But he's got Ezra.
He said he uses he's so he's in the chat. He says he uses Xeris because Hermit Yoda doesn't escape. So let's see. You do have a double Zeta Hermit Yoda, so your Hermit Yoda should escape.
And even if he doesn't, oh well. Then you got
No, because you want him in phase 2, especially if he has Wampa when we get there.
Oh no, I thought
I don't want him not to escape Hermit Yoda.
Oh,
Hermit Yoda is more
phase
important.
2. He doesn't escape. I'm like, oh well. Phase 2.
No.
Phase
He's saying
4.
in phase 1 that he uses Xeris and not Hermit Yoda because Hermit Yoda doesn't escape. And I assume that's what he's trying to write. He wrote Hermit Yoda does, but put an apostrophe kind of in the odd place. So I think he means doesn't. And so in that case, we have to work on maybe your strategy a little bit. Hermit Yoda should be stealth, especially if you have a double Zeta, because that's what I have. He should be either stealth or not really taking a lot of damage for most of the fight. You're recovering all the health and protection on your allies, right, with your Hermit Yoda, and then as it gets towards the end of the battle, he'll put Master's Training on each of the different characters, and every time they die, it refreshes his cooldowns, and he'll go again, and you just stealth them again. And so what I was noticing is every now and then, it does end up an issue where Nihilus will do like an AoE or something, and Hermit Yoda will get hit, but for the most part, you should be able to get him to escape. So we may need to look a little bit as to why he isn't for you, Nathaniel Morgan. But Hermit Yoda will increase your damage over Barris. And I used Barris. Barris does work as a 5th, but she is the worst of the 4 5ths with your team. And so the 5th, so again, the base 4, Jedi Training Rey, BB-8, R2, Resistance Trooper for you. And then for the 5th, Rey would be the best, but she's not ready. Visa Smar would be the second best, but she's not ready. Then Hermit Yoda, and then Barris. And so I would say, let's see what we can do in order to get your Hermit Yoda to escape. If you have time to do multiple attempts, then I would suggest that you just make sure you do airplane mode and then make sure your Hermit Yoda escapes. If you don't have time, then I understand.
You know what he could do? He could put C-3PO on that team.
Why, Grande?
Well, I'm just saying, you said he was the worst of the 5ths, and then I said, but there could be 5 5ths.
Well, so we have to look at his Ewok to see if he's even getting C-3PO, and no, he is not.
Oh, okay. Well,
at least not right now, because he has a Gear 9 Logray, Tebow, Elder, a 7 Wicket, and a Gear 8 Ewok Scout.
I'm just saying.
Probably not getting 7-star C-3PO.
I'm just saying. I had to bring that up, that it's possible.
I know what he's talking about with, having problems with Hermit Yoda escaping in P1. I used him as that 5th in that team for the longest time, and a majority of the time he would die. I switched over to Visas. Once you put a little gear on her and get her up to Gear 10, she's got more than enough survivability, and she's not as heavy as an investment as Scav Ray is to getting her up to Gear 12. And Visas, again, works just fine at Gear 10. She gives the team so much more survivability, and it's another pretty decent damage dealer on the team too as well. And when she gives the Jedi Training Rey and BB-8 the defensive penetration, they hit even harder. So it's well worth to work on, and she is fun to use in territory wars too as well.
Yeah, and he said that sometimes he gets hit during the enrage, and yes, that does happen. So I understand why he dies. So yes, something just to consider. Airplane mode, see if you can get it. But if you don't have time, then just stick with Varus.
Yeah, the airplane mode does help a lot in that feature too. I mean, it's just so hard going through all 15 turns, and then he dies right at the end, and then you have to reset the phase. And if your raids or if your guild's crushing the raid, you might miss out on P1 in general. So
yeah, so then sticking with Varus is a safer bet. Completely understand that. So okay, so then we can look at phase. I want to go to phase 3 first and look at his checks mix. So looking at his rebels just from the main screen, he has 7-star Chewie at gear 11. He has Han Solo. He has CLS. Let's see, where is his Death Trooper? His Death Trooper is gear 11, so that is good. And then his POW, and his POW is gear 8, 7-star. So he has every troop that he needs. And for POW, he has POW. Okay, so I'm assuming maybe you moved around your mods a little bit in phase 3 because somebody echoing in the back. No.
Ranger forgot to mute his mic.
Oh yeah.
What's going on?
What do you need?
We're hearing stuff in your background.
We're hearing you in the background. What do you need, honey?
Oh, that's the old
yeah.
The old wife asking me batteries.
That's the old. What do you need, honey?
Yeah.
I know that real well. I know the old. What do you need, honey? Real good. I want it how you want it,
his
honey.
POW is missing a mod right now on his triangle. I mean, so the team you're going to be looking for is CLS, Han, Chewie, Death Trooper, and POW. And your POW right now is a little bit too slow. He's only at plus 39 speed, a total speed of 172. You're going to try and need to make him faster because you need to make sure he goes before the lightsabers and Traya. So need to mod POW with a little bit more speed first, and then whatever offense you can get on him. And his survival, you can go with a little bit more RNG if you want. Your Commander Luke is fine at 239 speed. You have him fast enough. Your Han Solo is 176 speed, which is right on the edge of it, and you have 703 speed, or 703 physical damage on him. So you do have a lot of extra damage. Now, one thing I do notice is that you have a lot of critical chance on him as well, because you have a critical chance the set on him. You can keep the critical chance set. There's really nothing wrong with it. But one thing to just keep in mind, because I was having this discussion on Discord with somebody, Han does not need critical chance set, especially if you use him with Chewie, because his Never Tell Me the Odds gives him critical chance up, and so does Guard from Chewie. And so even without this extra 13% crit chance that you have on Han Solo, between his buff and Chewie, he is going to pretty much be at 100% crit chance. So this crit chance that you have on him is pretty much wasted unless you constantly put him on teams that don't have Chewie or that are massively dispelling. And so one thing you could do is replace that critical chance set with maybe a health or something like that in order just to make him a little bit more survivable, because Han is a pretty squishy character. And then you can go ahead and use like a 2-piece that may help him with something else. You could also go with something like potency if you want more turn meter reduction from his quick draw, just so it has a better chance of hitting, because his potency is fairly low. His potency is only like 12% at base. So you could go with something potency, but critical chance is one of those sets that you would think looks good on Han, but it actually ends up wasted. Because of all the other stuff that he gets from his overall team. So one thing just to consider with regards to your Han modding, but you have a good amount of offense on him. If you want to, you can also slow him down a little bit and put an offense arrow on him. I went an offense arrow and just slowed him down, and he hits like a truck every time he gets attacked. So I would say that may be something you want to look into as well if you're trying to optimize for the Sith raid. But your Han Solo otherwise looks good. I'm looking at your Death Trooper next. The Death Trooper. And if we find the Death Trooper.
Gear 11.
Yep, he's gear 11. He has 179 speed, so your Death Trooper is kind of right on the edge there as well. You also have a 306 physical damage on him, which is fine. You're running a critical damage set on him. You may want to consider offense set instead. And also, you have a potency cross, which is good. So, something to consider with Death Trooper, modding-wise, would be offense set with a potency set, just to make sure that those dazes hit when you use him outside of the raid. And offense, just because that will help with the raid. He can still do... He's not a huge damage dealer, but he's not also too shabby. And so you can go with an offense set and potency, and that'll increase the effectiveness of Death Trooper overall, I think, over critical damage and critical chance. Which is what you currently have. Yeah. So that would be, and he mentioned that the reason Poe is that the triangle had him going right before Traya. And yeah, so you do want you want him to go before Traya. And preferably, and it's hard, you're not going to usually get things before the lightsabers unless you have a lot of speed to them. So your Poe going right, or you're not Poe, Pow, going right before Traya is right where you want him, because you want him to do the offense up, and then you want Traya to go, and then you want Death Trooper to do the Death Mark, followed by Han doing the standalone. So, okay.
Standalone. Night Sisters look phenomenal. No problem there whatsoever.
All right. So we're good with Night Sisters.
Yeah. So.
And then we're looking at Phase 2. And he does
Jedi.
have...
Yeah, it's just Jedi.
It's Jedi, and he has a Gear 12 Zeta Wampa.
Yeah. So
he has the other team too. Yeah, you have two teams. So you have the Jedi team, and you have the Wampa team. So I think Grande, do you see anything else with his raid? I mean, I think he's fairly solid. Maybe a little bit of modding here and there to kind of round out the team, but he has all the characters.
Again, right? I mean, how do you get better at the raid? You play it a lot, right? I mean, we have a guy who plays it. I mean, like, he lives for the raid, and you just get better. And sometimes while you're playing it, freaking epiphanies happen to you, right? Like, oh, hey, look, this doesn't work in P3, but it works in P4. I don't know why, but I'm not going to run it in P3 anymore. There's a lot. There is a ton. Even P3 is like the unsung hero for like the guys who don't have a whole bunch, because P3 takes forever. Let me just give you an example. With garbage teams, I did $7.5 million in P3. You can literally climb tons of rank in P3 just because you're willing to put in the time, energy, and effort to throw your whole roster at P3.
Are you taking P3 or P2, Grande?
P3. P2 is going to be over. P2 is going to be over because 4 or 5 people are going to have Revan, and it's going to be gone, right?
Yeah, Grande's right.
Sure.
It's going to be a 10-minute phase, right? I mean, we have people now doing 20 to 30% of P2 with one team, and they're coming in with 10% left in P1 and doing that. Well, if the raid's sitting there at 10% of P1, they throw in their Revan team, they do 10% of P1 and 30% of P3, and 3 of them drop, P2's going to be like a blink, beep, beep, and then all of a sudden it's P3. The problem is most people don't really like to play P3. And the thing is, there are some really great teams for P3, some also-ran teams, right? Some wedge-led teams, some crazy offshoot teams. And if you can play around in P3, you can use Nest in P3. You can figure out when you should use standalone, when you shouldn't use standalone, when you should topple, when you should leave one saber up, right? And which teams you can do for what. There's probably 4 or 5 teams besides Chex Mix that you can do. And I'm not saying you're going to get $7.5 million in P3, but if you got $3 million in P3, it's $3 million more than everybody else. And so, and you could drop your whole freaking roster, because even really good guilds, P3 lasts a couple of minutes. And so, if you're a lower leveled player, or you're like, I don't have time to drop my whole roster in P4, drop your whole roster in P3, and your score will thank you. So.
So that's
Grande
Heroic
with
Sith.
knowledge, Mom.
Oh, this is what Grande does. He doesn't do anything else, but he'll do that. What else do we need to look at, Dr. Finn?
So next is Territory Wars.
I mean, you've looking through your teams.
He's got a lot of really good teams he could put together for TW.
All right, what do you see, Graham?
Bounty Hunters look really solid.
What teams are you seeing, Graham?
Teams.
Order,
You could do.
First Order needs some work. That's a team. There we go. There's a team you could be working on. First Order needs some love, because looking at all his Heroic Sith teams and going through his roster, it's like, Troopers look really good too. I think First Order is lacking for defense. Troopers look really solid. Jedi looks solid. Night Sisters look solid. Let's look at the Old Republic, see how he's doing there. Pretty good, actually. Pretty damn good. We're going to have Revan soon, so that's nice.
Work on Range Trooper.
Rebels look really good.
I am going to look at his scoundrels.
Yeah, that's where I was going next.
Because a lot of people don't like to admit it, but the up-and-coming freaking teams for TW and the Grande Arena are going to be Kira-led scoundrels. Because those teams are a pain in the butt to fight.
Here's something else. I personally think that potentially in Grande Arena or in TW that you're going to end up with a lot of bounty hunter teams with contracts. If they go to 3-man teams, you got so many freaking leader abilities with bounty hunters that you could easily see a lot of 3-man bounty hunter teams. You got taunts, you got abilities that work with scoundrels. So I really feel like that you could end up with a couple different bounty hunter teams.
Oh, like a Bosk lead with Django and Boba?
No,
that would be annoying.
No. But you could have a Bosk lead, and then you could have a Django lead, and then you could have a Boba Fett lead. You could have an Aura Singh lead, right? I mean, there's a lot of really good leader abilities in there. And so I think if we're talking 3-man teams, which is where we think this thing's going, three-man teams of bounty hunters can deal a lot of damage. They can get their contracts up, and all of a sudden, they're mildly unstoppable.
You're mildly unstoppable, Grande.
Oh man, once Karth becomes farmable, man, that Old Republic Karth-led team is going to be a beast.
He's finally got a good leader. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's a lot of.
He's got a lot of really good teams he can run here. I mean, he's got what he really needs. The only thing he's missing is Revan, and I mean that's really, it's just gear on some of them, but they're farmed. The Scoundrel team is farmed. It just needs gear, and I understand why that stopped because of the goddamn Ewoks. So you get no.
And look, he's doing really great, right?
Really
I mean, there's
is.
a lot.
It's
I mean, you could
roster.
So again, you could tell it's a mildly low spend roster, but it's a very focused roster.
Mm-hmm.
He's not taking. There's not a lot of waste GP in here, and you can tell he's working on rarity first and mods. The smart play is the intelligent player is going to work rarity and mods because a player that has all the characters at 7-star and has good mods can compensate for gear. And that's really where you're at. And then don't level something over level 50 unless you're ready to go, unless you're ready to take it at least to, gear 10, because it's going to be really hard for you to use it on offense or on defense if it's not gear 10. So I like where he's going. I like where he's going with it. I feel like he's on the right path. TW teams, we talk about TW teams and we talk about GA teams all the time, Grande Arena teams. You're going to be looking at some kind of 2 Sith teams potentially, 3 Sith teams potentially, an EP led team. Darth Maul-led team,
a Wookiee team,
a triumvirate team. You know, you're going to have a scoundrel team, you're going to have a bounty hunter team, you're going to have a crew team, you're going to have.
Why you be hating on the Wookiee team, Grande?
Because there's only one leader. It's not that great.
I didn't even use a leader.
I know. So, and I guess again, we were talking about it earlier about about if they did go to a 3-man team or a 3-player team, would it potentially a 5-person team consists of a tank, a taunt, a healer, some type of DPS, and some kind of a support character. Now and one of those is the leader, right? Well, depending on how that works out, potentially you could go in with a 3-man team with no leader, because you don't really need the leader. One of the teams we're talking about is that Kira Stahl team could actually work without Kira, and you put freaking Zalvar in as the leader. So it's Zalvar, Vandor, Chewbacca, and Nest. And as weird as it sounds, running a 3-man team may mean that you actually delete the leader in a 3-man team. So, again, thinking outside the box. I'm not saying that's for every team. I'm just saying it's for some teams, right? If that might work. Finity apparently had some luck with his
Huzzah!
Zalvar lead in team.
Zalvar lead for the win.
In Grande Arena. So.
All right. What else we need to look at, Dr. Finn?
So he did have a question that I saw with regards to the Phase 3 team that we were talking about for Heroic Sith. And he had asked if he should replace Pow with Anakin in Phase 3 because his Anakin is going to Gear 12. And yeah, you can, but you are now heavily reliant on RNG.
Yeah.
Because you need that offense up. The benefit of Pow is that you are guaranteed that offense up as long as you don't get like ability blocked or he doesn't get staggered and hit or whatever it is. But Anakin has only a chance to give offense up. And so if you have the time in order to do Phase 3, then yeah, your Anakin will end up with a better final result because your Anakin's a higher level, which means that he's going to have more physical damage and offense, which would mean that you're actually going to get more from him for your standalone, and all of that is going to work out great. But you're adding a major RNG factor.
Let me just tell you too. I think Anakin makes a different team, and I'm going to tell you the team I think Anakin makes, and the team I think Anakin makes is he makes that also ran team. He makes a Dooku-led team with Night Sister Acolyte, Night Sister Initiate, Nest, and Anakin, and you end up putting standalone on Nest. And the reason why is because now you get offense up. Right? And I'm telling you, that's a weird team, right? But it's a team I use, and it's a team you can do 750K with. So
I'm similar, except I would put Boba lead instead of Dooku.
Mm-hmm. Remember back in the day?
Boba either makes my Bosk team or Boba makes my Ura Singh team, right? So again, it's everybody's roster is a little bit different.
Yeah, it's what characters you have available.
It's what characters you have available. It's just like another team that I use a lot is here's another team. Again, a team that can do 500,000 damage. Wedge lead, with Jin, with Rolo, Vader, and regular Chewbacca. Sounds dumb. Sounds real dumb. Let me tell you, that team can do 500,000 damage. You have to set it up right.
Yeah.
You have to have the sabers, set up in the right order, and you have to have your speed set up right. But it'll work. So there's more than just Chex Mix. And how did I find this out? I found this out because for whatever reason, for a long time, I couldn't get Chex Mix to work.
That's because Ron is an idiot.
I couldn't get it to work. People were scoring 3.5 million with Chex Mix, and I'm over here scoring 1.5 million, wondering what the hell I'm doing wrong. And so finally I was like, you know what? I'm done messing with speeds on this team. I'm done doing whatever. I'm just going to throw everything in the kitchen sink at it. And then I thought, okay, how does this phase actually work? And what about all these characters I don't ever put in this phase? How do I do that? How do I make up for my deficiency in my Chex Mix team? Because
just take the damn characters to 12, Grande, and quit being a lazy butthole.
Take them to 11, bro.
Take them to 12 for Chex Mix. Live in the now, Grande. It's 2018, almost 19. Your witchy ways of Gear 11 are no longer valid.
And I got to tell you, I do have CLS at Gear 12. I do have Han Solo at Gear 12.
Uh-huh.
I do have Death Trooper at Gear 12.
Mm-hmm.
I do have Chirrut at Gear 12. I do have, OG, the freaking scoundrel Chewbacca at 12.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have Pow at 12.
I would hope not. I'd have to punch you in the face if you did.
Grande's a whale. It's fine if he has Pow at 12.
Well, I'm just saying I couldn't make it work, right? After studying and studying and studying, I couldn't, and putting mods right, I could make it work, but I still wasn't getting the scores of everyone else. So I was like, how do I do it another way? And I'm just telling you, there is another way to make it work with characters you weren't even putting in the raid to begin with.
That's an interesting point.
That's right.
All right.
If at first you don't succeed, give up on that team and find another one.
That's right, and drink alcohol.
That's right.
All right.
So he asked a ships question, but just some of the questions that I'm seeing. So he's, I think I'm gonna say it wrong. Nujagon is saying that if your Anakin is Gear 12, it removes the RNG of Pow dying to a Saber Storm. Yes, it does. But one, you don't worry about that. If it happens, you restart. Anakin is more annoying because his chance of getting the offense up is more of an irritant from what I found. Getting your Pow to survive is a lot easier, even at Gear 8, which is all you need. You don't need to gear him up any higher than Gear 8. He can get the survival. You put some health mods on him. You throw some offense. He can survive one Saber Storm pretty much. Now, if he gets hit by something else, then he goes down. But all he needs to do is survive until the standalone.
And there are other characters that do offense up. Tusken
Not that are attackers.
Your Tusken Shaman does offense up.
But he's not an attacker. That's the problem.
I understand. He's not an attacker.
Yeah.
No.
So does Poggle then. Poggle also does it, but yeah.
All right.
Bodhi also does it.
The pilot without a ship.
Okay. Ignore that.
And
I'm going to really ignore that.
That character.
Let it go. Let it go. Grande, let it go. Deep breath.
I mean,
No, Grande, goddamn, let it go.
He should like half the world.
Grande, I said let it go. Grande,
All right.
go take your crayons. What did I say?
We need a whole thing about Grande and Bodhi Rook. We just need a whole conversation.
Well, I'm telling you. Look, there's like the entire all of the Asian continent thought that Bodhi Rook was a very attractive person, and so that a lot of people that play this game that are of the Asian persuasion,
Sure.
Either they live in one of those countries.
Well, I would hope so.
They had some kind of Bodhi Rook fever thing.
Oh, here's a funny thing I found out this morning. On Amazon, Rose Tico has 2 Funkos that are less than $7, but Paige has a Funko that's almost $9.
Finn, you're in a timeout too.
Hey,
Both of you.
No, Paige.
I don't
Rose's
care. Nobody
sister
cared.
That had 2 minutes of airtime has a Funko that costs more than Rose Tico, who was in the whole freaking movie.
Hey, Finity, how much is Bodhi Rook's Funko?
I don't know. Does Bodhi Rook even have a Funko?
Who cares? Why are we talking about this?
Question.
Actually, it doesn't matter because this Funko won't have a ship either.
Bodhi Rook does not appear to have a
about? All right, I'm switching the conversation.
Oh no, he does. He does. Friggin' Bodhi Rook is $30.
All right, everybody, I'm muting them. I just muted them.
Let me ask you this: Does Bistan have one? What about Pal? Does Pal have a Funko?
Pal has one, but Pal's I remember is somewhat cheap. I'm going to
start getting very angry. Stop it. God damn. Let's see here. Ships. What was the question on the ships? It's a really nice roster, by the way. Really nice ship.
Yeah, let me jump over and look at it.
Yeah, if you don't mind, Grande.
So he asked a question about
Funkos.
And his question was, how do I beat the Geonosian fleet without Houndstooth? And we get that question a lot. So I don't use Houndstooth.
Yet.
Yeah.
No, I don't plan on using Houndstooth right now on
That's why I said
Fleet.
yet.
No, I don't. Well, we'll see if anything changes, but I have no intention, even at 7 stars, to use Houndstooth and Fleet. I have it more probably on Territory War Defense because it is a nuisance of a ship. But I'm really so far, and to be fair, I haven't climbed into the top 20 lately, but getting up to top 20 has been fairly easy. And I use the same squad, which is Biggs, TIE Advanced, Imperial TIE, and then Sunfac, Slave 1, TIE Reaper, and Poe. And how to beat the Geo is you focus on Geonosian Soldier.
Yep.
I think this is where some people get a little confused. You don't target Spy because Spy will stealth. Right. It is a wasted attack. You don't attack Sunfac because Sunfac is too tanky. You're not going to clear him out. But if you attack Geonosian Soldier, right, with a basic on Imperial TIE so he doesn't get that foresight up, then you do the basic with TIE Advanced, you do the assist with Biggs, and then with your Chimera, which is what I use as the capital ship, you call the TIE Advanced to attack the Geonosian Soldier. The Geonosian Soldier is pretty much dead every single time. And so then you're down to 2 ships, and then by the next time, you can bring out your Sunfac, you stealth Geonosian Spy, who should not be stealthed, and because and Sunfac will come in with a buff, the opposing Sunfac will taunt, and then you stun Sunfac. And so now you bring in your Sunfac and stun 2 of their ships off the bat, and you now have control of the match.
So here's one we get all the time, right? We get that same thing for how do I beat Houndstooth without Houndstooth, right? And it's in using the abilities, not how the AI uses them, and look for characters like Imperial TIE Fighter that do buff immunity or do ability block or do something that's going to end up where if he did want to taunt, he doesn't taunt. If he loses taunt, he's not going to get it back. And that's
Gauntlet
really
Starfighter.
what it is. Gauntlet, here's the problem I have with Gauntlet. The problem with Gauntlet is you have to increase Imperial Super Commando to gear 11 to get it.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Here's the thing. We want to use characters. Again, we want dual-purpose characters, right? Most of us already have an Imperial TIE Fighter, right? Most of us already have a Wedge. Most of us already have First Order to 7-star. Well, guess what? Freaking Kylo Ren's command shuttle will do it, right? Most of us have, here's another one. Here's a K2SO with Jen and Cassian's U-Wing. Take K2SO to gear 11, K2SO does it, right? So but what are the cheap ones? The cheap ones are a 1-character ship that does it either in the beginning or does it out of reinforcements. Who does that? Imperial TIE Fighter pilot and Wedge. In my mind, they're 1 pilot. You only have to gear up 1 pilot. One of them does it from reinforcements. One of them does it when he's in the front line. To me, those would be the 2. If you were going to, and no one's going to tell you not to gear up Wedge, right? No one's going to tell you, hey, don't take Wedge to gear 11. Don't take Wedge to gear 12. No one's ever going to recommend you not do that. Imperial TIE Fighter pilot, most of us already have geared up, so that's not an issue. It's a relatively easy G12. We start recommending to someone to take Super Commando to gear 11, and I feel like we're pushing them in the wrong direction.
All right, so Daniel Morgan's asking about his Geo. Sunfac, you do need to get higher gear. Where is he at right now?
He just needs Sunfac to gear 11. And for the record, Mike, just so you know, I beat the teams that go to rank 1. I just don't bother fighting in fleet anymore.
I really don't care about it either, yeah.
But I've seen the ships, I've seen the fleets that go down there, and I beat them when they drop down a little bit, so not a particularly big deal. The big lineup still works.
Yeah, it does work. It works really well. Sunfac, you need to get a little bit higher, but that's fine. I mean, honestly, Nathaniel, you've got a really good lineup here. Houndstooth being almost 7 stars is pretty impressive. You've got your Poe at 7, your 12. Awesome. He's one that I really think I hope you're running in your lineup. TIE Advanced, TIE Fighter. This is a great ship lineup. Geos could use some work, but if you're going to work on one first, I would definitely go with Sunfac because you can use him in your lineup as he is. And work on the other
Sunfac is in every lineup, man. Every lineup.
Not mine.
And also, I'd work on the Phantom too. I really would. I feel like Phantom 2 coming out of reinforcements gives you a huge advantage with almost everything.
Yeah, and Andrew Sweeney, sorry, you are correct that you don't use the assist on Biggs on Geo Soldier because Sunfac will taunt. You just do the normal attack and get another target lock with Biggs. But then you use Chimera to call to assist tie advance and take out Soldier.
Nathaniel Morgan, overall, you've done a fantastic job with your lineup. Everything I've seen. I mean, there's gear here and there, but really it's not anything. You focused on the right things. I think you've got a lot of flexibility in your lineup. It's just a gear check now, and I'm sure a lot of your gear's been going towards your Ewoks for this 3PO event, which is fine, but now we can start focusing back in on getting some of those teams up and characters up to round out some of your teams. That's kind of where you're at right now, Nathaniel Morgan, looking at your teams and your roster. You're
doing great, man.
Yeah,
you're doing excellent. You're doing excellent.
All right, is there anything else we need to cover, Finn? God, we covered that.
I think he asked about mods in general, but I think we went through that as we went through the rest of it. So.
We did. We kind of did go through mods a little bit already. I mean, maybe if you have something super specific.
If it's specific, we can look at it, but.
So he asked question: short-term C-3PO first or Lando's Falcon gearing? Long-term Ewoks for 7-star C-3PO or Yoda Jolie for Revan?
Yoda Jolie.
Yoda Jolie.
And
I agree with that.
I would also work on
we haven't found a home yet for C-3PO.
Yeah, hold off on C-3PO.
I mean, get him to 6-star, 5-star, whatever, and then just kind of camp with him because I don't know where he goes, man.
I do not know either.
Well, I think they spread 3PO's kit too thin.
Well,
except with Ewoks, everything's doubled for Ewoks.
And R2 specifically.
Yeah, R2. So, but we'll play around with it. We'll figure it out. But for now, I would definitely finish up your Jolie and your Yoda and things like that. That's more important. But yeah, really good job. Good job, Nathaniel Morgan. Now, if you guys would like a roster review as well, all you need to do is send your GG page to Dr. Finn Medicine Woman, and he will go ahead and get you squared away. Make sure he does respond when you do send it, and we'll let you know ahead of time when your roster review is coming up. And of course, Nathaniel Morgan, you know how to get a hold of us. If you have any more questions, just holler at us in Discord. And I suggest anybody that's not joined our Discord, please do. We have a great community of people that can help you with any of your Star Wars Galaxy Heroes questions.
We helped like 7 or 8 people between last night and tonight get C-3PO because they didn't know how to work the freaking kits, and I was up at 3 o'clock this morning. Helping people out, trying to help them remod their stuff so they can get C-3PO.
Yeah,
trying to tell them the turn order.
We'll do that event right after this one. So. Yeah.
And that is why Grande is a big deal.
That's exactly right.
Kind of a big deal. It's kind of a thing. It's the reason why it's called. It's the reason why it's called Grande Arena, and it's the reason why I gave all of you the title of Patron in the game, so you too can rep that you are a big deal, just like Grande Patron.
Then that's wrong.
That's science. That can't be wrong.
It's science, brother. Okay, what are we doing, Ranger?
It's now time to play Stanley's game. Stanley, what are we playing?
We're gonna finish up the Sean Bean deaths that we started 2 weeks ago.
Oh.
Really quick, Ranger. Before we do that, Nathaniel Morgan wants you to click on his guild in GG. I guess he wants to show everybody the guild name and their message.
Oh, I didn't even read it. I should probably read it.
Yep.
Wait, if I click on there, that's the EA forums. New World Empire. Oh, he wants me to show it.
Yeah. He would like you to show it.
Just take your Zetas and go home. 50-2 in TW. That's pretty good.
Good job.
That's
very
really
nice.
good. That's impressive.
Where am I looking? There it is, New World Order. Shout out to New World Empire.
Like it.
I'm sorry, New World Empire.
New World Empire.
There you go. See, we do a lot of stuff for the fans here.
That's right. Okay. So, Stanley's game.
Yep, and all the movie titles are already in Skype for the ones that we're going to be covering. So
I know one of these.
So it's going to be Process of Elimination.
Okay.
Okay, let me get to it. Okay, So read what we're doing here again, Mr. Shanley.
We're going to be going through the last of the Sean Bean deaths that we didn't cover 2 weeks ago.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm ready.
Okay. Shot multiple times in the chest by police.
Outlaw.
Yep.
Hooray!
Shot in the head with a shotgun on the road.
The Hitcher?
That's correct.
That's race 2.
I think Grim got it first that time, though.
Yep.
Okay.
Shot while sitting next to his killer with a revolver.
Cash.
Nope.
Damn. I was on a roll on the guesses.
Far North?
Nope.
Damn.
I can't guess again, so.
The Hitchhiker?
There's no hitchhiker! And we already said it! Oh my god! There's like 8 things wrong with your suggestion, Justin Grande.
Of UV.
God, it is. It's UV all over again.
Is anybody else going to guess?
Ranger?
No idea. Well, ignore me. I'm
gonna guess. I can guess again if you want, but I don't know if it'll count.
Why don't you just tell us this one?
Is it death? Is it Death Race?
No, it was Red Riding the Year of Our Lord 1973.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right then.
Next one, shot in the head while fighting in a car.
Death Race.
No.
Oh.
Let me look at the titles here.
The Hitcher.
We already said it.
Say it one more time.
Final Fantasy 15?
Shot in the head while fighting in a car.
Death
North
Race
Face.
2?
Far North.
No.
Was it Kingsglaive?
Nope.
Cash.
I think we're all out of guesses.
Yeah, unless it's cash.
Yeah, we're all out of guesses.
Yeah, it was Cash, but you already guessed.
Well, it doesn't. I'm Ranger. I get it right.
Nope.
I think let's do 3 wrong guesses and then you just tell us.
Oh my God, no, no. Oh, so the theme, Faymock, is deaths of Sean Bean. So these are all ways that Sean Bean died in different movies or TV shows and stuff.
You know Sean Bean? Sean Bean is that guy, Mr. Bean, that doesn't
No.
talk in his shows.
Jesus.
I call him Mr. Bean.
That's because he's tight with them, because they're bested buddies.
He has some movies where he kind of, he's kind of a comedian guy and he smiles a lot and has really big eyes. Mr. Bean.
Wasn't he in one of the movies with Val Bacon? I think he was.
He was in a movie with Val Bacon.
Yeah, it's called American Bean. Okay, next question.
It was called The Hitchhiker Chronicles. Oblivion.
Next question.
Okay, shot by a gang and lands in a swimming pool.
Death Race.
That was correct.
Hooray! At some point it had to be right. Next question.
Yep. Died fighting Nazis in Ian Fleming's military outfit, 30 Commando Unit. And Ian Fleming is the James Bond creator. What?
Frankenstein Chronicles?
No.
No.
Far North.
No.
Damn.
The Hitcher.
Age of Heroes.
Oh my God.
That's correct, Graham.
Correct. Nice scrim.
Okay. Next one, decapitated by
Game of Thrones.
Yep.
The only one I
Damn
knew.
it, Finn. Finn cheating again.
That's the only one I knew.
Okay, next one, hung by noose.
Frankenstein Chronicles?
Oh, Frankenstein Chronicles. Dang
Yep.
it.
Okay, next one, runs into the frozen tundra with no clothes on
Far
and
North.
dies of... Yep. Let's see, next one is impaled by a giant sword in the back.
Elder Scrolls.
Nope.
Kingsglaive.
Yep. Let's see. Shattered the
Elder
amulet.
Scroll.
Yep.
Damn it, Finn.
That was the only one left. I've been,
Cheating
marking
again.
I've been marking these off. I'm like, wait, there's only one left. There's only one left. Let him start. Elder Scroll.
See, he's cheating.
I'm not cheating. He gave us what the things were. I was using strategery.
That's what it's called.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, it's called cheating.
Strategery.
Okay, so that leaves Finn with 4, Grim with 3, and Ranger, I don't know, maybe 1.5.
So Finn with 2 because he cheated on 2 of them.
Yeah,
I
that's a
didn't cheat.
butthole.
I was good on Game of Thrones because he said decapitated. Like, yep, Game of Thrones. and then you weren't keeping track of the answers, so that's your own fault.
No, I was being nice and letting him ask the whole question before I
Never
answered.
said anything about needing to finish.
And if anybody wants to see Sean Bean die again, feel free to watch my stream from a few weeks ago.
Oh my god.
That one was epic, dude. So good.
Okay, now on to questions.
Okay, I'm going to ask one question first, Sanely, because it was asked in the RSG Discord, and then we'll get to the YouTube questions. So the question was, what do you think of the C-3PO Zetas and what order and everything about the Zetas? So when we look at the Zetas, they're interesting Zetas because you have to kind of put them into the context of what the hell is actually going on. His first Zeta on Oh My Goodness puts confused twice on an enemy for 3 turns, which means that you are now going to start out by giving them effectively daze. So the Zeta on his special will give a daze onto whichever character that you utilize, which is a fairly good Zeta, I think. So that one is the Oh My Goodness. His other one is on his unique, and at the start of the encounter, he gives translation to C-3PO and R2, which means that at the beginning of the battle, you're going to start them off with 30% max health. So, how good is that? Well, it's a fairly decent Zeta. I think I like Wait For Me a little bit better than the other one, but I think both of his Zetas are actually fairly good. Again, if you're going to use him, the problem is I still haven't found a team that I really like him in. What do you think, Grande?
I can't find a team, and I've been racking my brain for a day and a half, and every team I find seems like it has a problem with it. And I'm talking about 4 or 5 different Ewok teams, Rebel teams, JTR teams. It's like you need to have a deficiency in your roster for it to make sense right now. I mean,
I know one.
Maybe I'm just overthinking it, but I can't. But there's not. It's not like something where I look at this and it's blatantly obvious what needs to happen.
Yeah.
You need Mace Windu lead with Kit Fisto, Eth Koth, C-3PO, and R2-D2. There you go.
Yes,
there's
that
your,
is exactly what you need to do, and then you throw away your account. Just give up your account.
Grim, you're on a timeout. Grab the crayons.
Garbage.
Awful. Next question, please.
Yeah, so I think his just to go through that, I think his special is more important than his unique because of the 30. It's only 30% health, and it's nice to get that. You do want to try and raise C-3PO to get 3 translations up quickly, so he can start reducing cooldowns. So that would be one of the reasons why to do that. But I think getting the days up on a particular character early can prove to be important. But again, what's going to be important is what team does he go on and what are you using him against is going to be 2 of the critical questions to figure out which of his Zetas are better.
I mean, effectively what we're trying to do is you're trying to say, does this character go on a team that either beats Traya or beats Revan? And really the question is, does this character go on a team that beats Revan? And right now, I can't think of one. Yeah, JTR with droids. The problem with that team is that Danilo Papayas is saying JTR with droids. The problem with that team is is that you leave so many resistance out of the loop. It's not even funny, right? So it's not like great utilization. The other problem is that you're doing it all based on TM generation, and you end up losing a taunt out of the deal. So I don't really think this team makes perfect sense. And if you throw a bunch of droids on that team, then you end up with a team where your only damage dealer is freaking Rey, and maybe BB-8 and maybe R2.
All right.
Star Rocks 923 Lego question: how do you feel about Team Instinct's World First recruit your replacement through Grand Arena initiative? Isn't it great to be replaced by your Grand Arena opponent when you lose? Gotta wail harder.
What?
I'm not sure what that.
So if I got the gist of it, Team Instinct basically someone lost in Grand Arena, and so they got replaced.
I mean, they're playing the game differently than how I play it. That's all I can say. If that's what they're doing.
Hey, it's their guild. They're the way they do it.
Yep, Grande just recruits openly. So if you guys are looking for a guild, make sure you join Dark Lords.
And oh, by the way, if you just got booted out of your guild because you lost in Grande's Arena, let me tell you, it's called Grande's Arena for a reason. Why don't you come to Dark Lords and we'll teach you how to win there? And by the way, we won't boot you if you lose.
That's science.
Or you can come to a better guild called MC, where we actually don't lose and can kick ass and don't care.
That's science too.
There you go. I'll end this Dark Lord madness one way or another.
MC is a great place to go.
It is a very nice guild. I like it.
Bjorn Rodiger question: what do you think about 3PO Zetas? Do you recommend them?
Well, there we go. We just talked about that.
We just answered that question.
Aramis Hernandez Carabola. Question Vormax here. Do you guys think Jedi training Rey and R2 and BB-8 and C-3PO and other team can beat Jedi Revan with all the turn meter gain?
No.
No. They can't because
no.
Here's the problem. Grandmaster Yoda goes freaking fast, man. And even if BB-8 goes first,
which he won't.
Well, no, because of all the TM, because it's all the droids.
Well,
he probably will. He will go first, but then what?
Now they're angry.
Here's the other thing too. You got like 3 cleanses on a Revan team, right? You got Revan's cleanse, which he passes back and forth between Yoda. You got Jolie's cleanse, and you got Bastula's cleanse, and you're never gonna put a disc. You're never, and you got Kenobi's cleanse. So you got a team where 4 out of 5 cleanse. You're never gonna keep the question mark thingies up, ever, right? You got a dispel in Bastula, so you're going to dispel and stun someone, and then on top of that, you're never going to get one of those debuffs on Jolie. Good freaking luck.
Darth Telewhack my knacker question: what are the best mods for Elder, Tebow, Scout, Wicket, and Chirpa? I can get C-3PO, but it's the mods I can't figure out.
Well, Chirp is easy. It's speed and he's a tank, so you want Haplu is you want speed and tankiness. Chirp is
all of them are speed and tanky. They're death by 1,000 paper cuts.
Yeah, I mean it's just about health and protection, but it's speed, health, and protection.
Yeah, Tebow you can put some potency and stuff if you want to try and get that turn meter reduction, but I mean, really for the most part they're all.
And Wicket's crit damage, crit chance.
Yeah, you need a lot of crit chance on him for the turn meter gain. So yeah, so Wicket
and potentially low gray is potency cross.
Yeah,
or potency.
Low gray and Tebow potency. You can put some crit chance on Wicket, but pretty much in general, fast and tanky like Loki likes. I can see why Loki likes Ewoks. And
I'm going to tell you right now, I don't put protection. I put health if I'm running Ewok Elder.
Mm-hmm.
Helenix, question protocol droid is fluent in 6 million forms of communication and can readily blame Finn. Ranger will easily be able to get one too. This isn't a question. This is hashtag bragging. Hooray!
Hey.
Apparently, you can't speak English because we asked for questions.
Sound like a question to me. Good God.
It does not sound like a question at all. In fact, it says it in the freaking statement that it is not a question.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, it is. And
so Ranger apparently doesn't know that language either. So we can have
no
tutorial
he
session.
did have a question in the thing. So
we need Tits to do a tutorial session with Grande again, because Grande obviously failed that one, and then she can include C-3PO and Ranger on that too, and Hellenic.
No,
just everyone.
It's my world. You're just living in it, Finn. What is
Darth Telewhack my knacker questions sanely, who did you use to get 7-star C-3PO? I used Gear 10 Chief Chirpa with Zeta, Gear 12 Ewok Elder, Gear 11 Wicket, Gear 11 Paplu, and Gear 9 Logray, and they pretty much had all the Omegas, and I had to use arena mods for Elder and Chirpa.
Sounds about right.
No range trooper?
No. Unfortunately, I couldn't use him.
Disappointing.
Star Rocks 923 Lego. Question Grande, I have attention span issues. What's the best way to... Ooh, look, a chicken!
Awesome.
Star Rocks 923 Lego. Question, in a CLS team with Raid Han and Chew Penis Baka, would C-3PO...
No, that's wrong. That's wrong. It's not that. It's
yes!
Chewbacca.
It sanely said it this time, not me.
Hey, I'm Ron Burgundy here. I'm just reading what's on the prompter.
Wow, that escalated quickly.
I'm just Ron Burgundy.
Would C-3PO be a better replacement for Old Ben or R2? Old Ben makes a great tank, but R2 can make anyone tank via stealth. I am so getting banned from the stream when questions are over.
Not really.
Not really. You're not going to be banned.
We have not banned for several things worse than that. So.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
R2's stealth thing is also unreliable. You know, he doesn't always choose the same person to put that little foresight and congratulations, you're a pseudo taunt.
I think he does it based on health protection, right? Whoever's the tankiest. I'm pretty sure that's the reason. And then C-3PO is really tanky. I feel like they may have designed it intentionally that way to make C-3PO really, really tanky so that R2 is always calling him. Because they did try to build that synergy.
Okay, Grim. Question, will C-3PO bring Eth Koth and Kit Fisto into the meadow now, asking for a friend?
No.
You wish. It's going to bring Old Ben and Ugnaught. There you go. Next question.
Asking for a friend.
Even better.
Tangent Revolution. Question, I have Gear 12 Bosk. What gear level do I need my Boba, Jango, Dengar, and Cad Bane for 7-star Chewie?
10,
Gear
11.
10.
Mm-hmm.
Gear 10. Yeah.
Just go watch Ranger for 9 hours. That'll give you a good idea what you need.
Mike Brook. Question, my mods are out of control. I need to sell. I keep speed arrows. What would you suggest I filter to sell mods? What would you guys get rid of first? Thanks.
Anything with anything speed secondary, keep. Anything on your triangle that's like crit damage, things of that nature, or the crosses with potency, things of that nature you want to keep. The squares that are blue that have offense, sell if it doesn't have speed secondary. Same thing with you. You do a lot of the things with the diamond. Any arrows that don't have a speed secondary, sell.
No, I disagree with that. I would tell you to keep. I would tell you to keep all of the on the right side arrows, triangles, and crosses. Keep all of those and sell the square, diamond, and circle that are white that are
white and blue.
And green. I would sell all the green ones that had like less than 3 speed. And then after that, I think you potentially would go up to the blue ones that had 3 speed or less. But I'm going to tell you, we're getting some funky modding, and all the funky modding happens on the right side. Since all the funky modding happens on the right side, I always keep the right sides. I keep those funky ones. Defense, crit avoidance, freaking potency, tenacity. I keep all that stuff. And I'm not out of mods. And level all your characters to level 50 so you can throw stuff on them.
I'm starting to sell the mods that aren't rolling multiple times on the stats that I want. Like mods that have like 2222 on their parentheses on a gold mod, I'm usually selling those. Because there's no focus. All of my mods are getting focused with a particular thing on all of my characters, right? I'm looking at health, I'm looking at speed, I'm looking at crit chance, I'm looking at tenacity, I'll look at potency. Whatever it is, I don't need an evenly distributed mod. I need mods with a particular focus to make use of the mod on a particular set. So as I'm starting to go through this, the few things that I'm trying to replace are single-digit mods on secondaries, speed. So things that are basically like hitting, and I hate these mods, and I have some. They have the parenthesis 3 next to them, but their total speed is 9 because I managed to get like rolls of 3 on every single one. Or they're like 10 with 3 because I managed to get like 2 3s and a 4. God damn, I hate those mods. So those ones I'm starting to get rid of because they're not. There's no upside to those mods. Anything below 4 dots, I'm slowly starting to sell. My process right now, though, is I'm remodding my entire arena squad and figuring out what I want on each character, which is why I had an unmodded Wampa and stuff like that the other day. And so then I'm going to slowly start to remove them.
Everything that's 4 dot or less just goes automatically.
I have some 13 speed 4 dots that I'm keeping for now until I get something better.
Yeah, I get rid of them right away now. It's just not even worth it.
Mr. Pennybench, question for Ranger. So what did your honey need? LOL.
Batteries for the remote control.
Bradzo Swgoh, question: if we follow the leaked message for future content, OG Millennium Falcon is supposed to drop this month. Some of you suggested that bounty hunter ships will be needed, but when we first got introduced to the Millennium Falcon, the OG crew were running away from sand troopers. Therefore, my thinking was, with these new legendary events requiring high gear, could we be looking at the OG crew fighting their way to the ship? Plus, we only have 4 bounty hunter ships.
It could easily be cargo pilots.
Yeah.
Or cargo ships.
Can I say how much of a disappointment it would be that if they introduced the first regular legendary ship and it required just characters?
Yeah.
That would be a major letdown. I know it would be difficult for a lot of free-to-play to get the bounty hunter ships, especially if it requires all of them, like Xanadu Blood and IG-2000. But really, I think it would be a major letdown to introduce a legendary ship and need characters in order to unlock it. I think that would basically show where ships is. Let's put it like that. How much focus is there on ships? Well, we're going to introduce a legendary ship and you're going to use characters. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
I blame Finn.
That's right.
Danilo Papai's question: how are your teams on Grand Arena defense doing, Finity? Any defenses?
I got no defenses, but I won the Grand Arena.
Helenix, question for Grande: do you want to build a snow chicken? Not asking for myself, I'm asking for a friend.
Oh, man. I'm going to have to build a snow chicken. If I didn't live in a place where it never snows, I'd have to do it.
Nathaniel Morgan, question: short-term 3PO first or Lando's Falcon gearing? Long-term Ewoks for 7-star 3PO or Yoda/Jolie for Revan team?
I feel like we answered this. It's Yoda, Jolie, and Lando.
Yeah. Nathaniel Morgan he was the roster review, so I can get rid of these.
Okay.
Unless he's asking for a friend.
Unless he's asking for a friend. If he's asking for a friend, That's different.
Nick Merck, question for 6-star Chewy. What gear levels do I need on Bosk, Boba, Dengar, Greedo, Cad? I can
Gear
probably
10, Gear 11.
I can probably Zeta Bosk.
Yeah,
Gear
Gear
10,
11 boss with a Zeta. Rest Gear 10, you'll be fine.
Zombie 7469TX question. So far, the only problem I have had with Grand Arena is my opponent not setting up a defense, so I have crap to do till the next round. Am I the only one this bothers?
This is going to happen. Let me tell you, it's probably not going to happen for your next one because I don't think the guy's going to win. That's like a first-round problem. It's not a second or a third-round problem.
By the way, Sanely, Nathaniel Morgan said he had some questions not related to his roster, so make sure that you're not just skipping all of them.
Okay, I undeleted those.
Okay.
Okay. Nathaniel Morgan, question, does C-3PO make CLS lead the Zeta a lot more intriguing? Rebels are constantly attempting to apply Expose, which gets resisted by Jedi and feeds TM.
It does, but I still don't think you're going to replace it with the other squads. Like, let's just take some of the examples right now. Maybe you're going to try and form a Rogue One team, but if you're trying to make your best Rebel squad, I don't see how C-3PO would fit with a CLS, Han, Chewie, Chase, and like a Chase team with Chirrut and Baze. You could potentially do something like CLS, Han, Chewie, C-3PO, and Old Ben. That may work, but I think you have better things that you can put in that spot instead of C-3PO. In fact, I would say like Fulcrum, Ahsoka, or Captain Han work a little bit better in that spot. So it's not a matter of really if C-3PO is good. It goes back to something Grande said with one of the other things we were discussing as well. Is it better than what you would otherwise have in that spot? Like, so depending on your roster, you might be able to, when we were talking about like phase 3 of the Heroic Sith, and I had mentioned I use Boba lead, and then Grande said he uses Boba with his like Aura Sing. Well, I don't have Aura Sing, so it doesn't make any sense for me, so Boba works for mine. Ultimately, Aura Sing is better.
Before I had that, I used Boba before I had Aura. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I mean, it is Boba is better with Aura Sing. So, but I don't have her, so obviously I'm going to use Boba for a different purpose. I feel like C-3PO is kind of going along that same general route. It's not that his kit is bad, but for those of us that are in the later game, does it fit, and is it a better replacement than what we've already set up with the team? And except for Ewoks that get a major benefit, it is hard to see how he's providing a huge bonus to the team. And even with Ewoks, the question is, with a team that is reliant more on death by 1,000 paper cuts more than anything, do you want to lose a character like Ewok Elder who will provide heals, dispels, and reses with the way that the team composition works? Because you're fundamentally trying to change the way that Ewoks work from a survival-based ping away at you with sticks and rocks type of team to now a less exposed and try to get some burst damage and kill this guy quickly type of team. And it does change the mentality on how you're trying to work with that faction. So we'll have to see how it works out. Like I said, it's a really good kit. I gave it a B+ or a B yesterday because I think it is a good kit. The only downside to me is how does this fit against other teams? Where would I find it to be a replacement? And I'm just having a hard time finding what I want to replace with C-3PO.
Now, maybe he'll work on, say, a Rogue One team.
I'm sure he will work on the team, but again, who is he replacing? So if you're running Jin, K2SO, Cassian, Scarif Rebel Pathfinder, and Pow or Biston, that team is fairly decent if you have a decent Scarif Rebel Pathfinder and K2SO to soak up the damage.
Yep.
Well, I'd say ditch K2SO and put 3PO in there.
No,
see, then you lose the Cassian K2SO combo.
Cassian K2SO go together. I mean, that's basically like a mini Wedge Biggs, man. I mean, if you're going to separate Wedge and Biggs, you got to make a really, really good argument for it. I'm not saying that you don't do it. I'm just saying you have to make a really freaking good argument for it. And so separating Cassian from K2S, and K2SO gives days and freaking retribution. I mean, he counterattacks.
Nathaniel Morgan questions Zeta order on 3PO. Special first, should we do unique at all? Not a fan of having a Zeta tied to using another character. See Death Trooper / Krennic.
Yeah, I think we've already kind of discussed this one a little bit. I think Infinity already went over it.
Okay, Brevinator question. Now that we have C-3PO with a silver leg, can we expect to get red arm C-3PO, Episode 1 C-3PO, backpacks C-3PO, battle droid C-3PO, and reverse battle droid C-3PO?
Nah.
Okay.
Probably not.
Nah.
Because
He's
you know
not
this
Han.
is the
That's
silver
right.
leg 3PO, and they already gave him the resistance tag, even though he doesn't have the red arm. So
Is there
don't
Han in his
expect any
name?
other ones.
Or Chewie? Or Chew? Is there Chew or Han in his name? If the answer is no, there's not going to be 5 of his character.
If his name is Chuhani, then yes.
Then maybe.
But if
Because he will have Chew and Han. So we may end up with 10 Chuhanis, but there's not going to be the 5 C-3POs.
Virga Grande Chingon question is Miss. It should be Mrs. But Mrs. Tits going to change her squad saved on GG from Gangbang to Chubukaki?
Chubukaki, probably. She probably will. Absolutely. She'll change it to Chubukaki.
What the hell? I am not putting that anywhere near McVenom. I don't want to die. Why the hell would you say that, Grande? She's going to come after you now. She is going to kill you now for saying that she's putting that anywhere on her roster. Next question.
Ryuk question almost finished Embo to 7-star. Should I give him the Zeta?
Almost finished who?
Embo.
I wouldn't. Unless you've got him gear 11, don't put it on him.
Yeah,
And potentially he makes the Ura team, and potentially you put the Zeta on Ura Singh first.
Yeah, his Zeta is nice, but I mean, it just makes it to where he can't be crit unless he's talking about the leadership.
Yeah, right when he came out, I put the Zeta on the leadership and immediately regret it once we got the Air Wars thing. Nathaniel Morgan question. So for Finn, should we be putting total bull jive on D to win Grande Patron Arena?
It's up to you guys. It worked for me. So thank you for your defense suggestions.
Mike Brook question. Have you heard an Ewok Scout sub for Wicket? I won't get Wicket. Think I have a chance. Great help on selling mods. Thanks. I really enjoy you guys. Keep up the most triumphant work.
Thank you. No Wicket, huh?
It's going to be hard without Wicket. Scout is the replacement for Wicket, and it's not a very good replacement. It's just like Tebow is the replacement for Lowgrave, but it's not a great replacement.
Yeah. Yeah.
Revinator.
We're gonna do it later too, so you'll be able to see. We can Ranger. We can attempt to do it without Wicket.
Yeah. Try it with Scout so
Yeah,
people
right.
without Wicket can see how it's done.
No.
It's for the fans, Ranger.
You could do it without freaking Wicket then. Listen.
Okay, I will.
Who has 15 hours of pain in streaming? It ain't you, Finn. Shut your pie hole.
Revinator question won't be around tomorrow for the charity live stream. Will the whole live stream be available to view at a later date? And any workarounds for the 12-hour cutoff from YouTube?
That is exactly why we have done certain things to prevent it. So we learned from the first time. So several things that we are doing different from the first time we did this. One, we have a direct link to the ACS page so you guys can donate and get the company matches, because that was one of the things you requested. So that was one thing. Two, our stream is going to be 12 hours long. In fact, it's probably going to end up being 11 hours and like 50 some odd minutes, because we figured out, I think it's around 53 or something, it gets cut off. So we will be doing that. Instead of challenges that extend the current stream, we have a challenge that will make us stream another 12 hours on Sunday instead. So instead of an additional 2 hours and making it a 14-hour or 16-hour stream like it did last time, we are going to essentially do 24 hours of streaming in a 48-hour time period. So if you want us to stream extra, unlike last time, we're actually setting it up to, you can get us to do another 12 hours, which would mean that there's going to be 2 streams. So both streams should be recorded. Both streams should be available once YouTube finishes processing, which on a 12-hour stream, it does take some time. So you'll have to bear with YouTube to do that. But both streams, assuming we do the one on Sunday if the challenge gets filled, will be recorded and viewable at a later date.
Mike Brook, question for Mod Merlin there. I suck at modding. Is there any way to get in touch with you so you can help me? I'll pay.
Yeah, just come on to Discord. We'll help you out for free.
But donations to the American Cancer Society would be appreciated.
Yes, they will be. They're definitely appreciated.
And that was the last question.
Hooray! All right. Finn, you want to talk about the ACS stuff?
Sure. So, again, just to kind of mention it, we have the Tiltify and the ACS page, as well as our website page that tells you all about the fundraiser, linked in the description of the YouTube video below. There's going to be a lot of fun things that you guys can donate to, starting now, if you want to participate. And there have been some stuff that has been added since yesterday. So, what are those things? Well, there is a new challenge that Nukin is providing. So, if we can fill Nukin's challenge and raise $500 for his challenge, he will give away a Blue Yeti mic, a Blue Nano mic, or a Lola headphone, all of which are valued between like $150 and $250. He will give it away to one of the people that has donated to that specific challenge. So if you want a chance at that headphone or the mic, make sure you donate to that challenge, and each dollar will be an entry, and then we will do the drawing once the challenge is filled. So we have that as a new challenge as well. Nukin is going to be giving away one of those microphones. So donate to the American Cancer Society for your chance to win. And don't forget, every dollar you donate, whether it's through a reward, a poll, a challenge, or just straight donating, every dollar that you donate does count as an entry into the raffle for the lightsaber when we hit 15,000. So when we hit our final goal, you will be able to have your chance at that lightsaber, that Mara Jade lightsaber, basically machine built by Sword of the Jedi. The other thing that we have added is with regard to Jedi Academy. So Jedi Academy we do at 10 a.m. on Saturdays. We will be doing it tomorrow during the live stream at the same time. So 10 a.m. tomorrow during the live stream, we will be doing Jedi Academy. But we're going to have something a little bit different. Good old Maurice is going to be on the stream with his camera on. Why is he going to be on with the camera on? Well, we have a new reward where we are going to make Jedi Academy a good old Maurice dance party. And if you want to see good old Maurice dance, a particular dance for 30 seconds, there is, under the rewards, you can purchase it and then make your request for what you want good old Maurice to dance. And with a quote from good old Maurice, "I am an awful dancer. If someone donates wanting an accurate demonstration of the Dougie, they will be sorely disappointed." So, if you want to see good old Maurice fail at doing the Dougie, make sure you go to the rewards and donate.
Can you link the Tiltify for me, Finn, please? In Skype, so I can show it.
In Skype? Yeah, I can do that. So, make sure that you do go to the ACS Tiltify page. It is in the description of the YouTube video. And you can go there and make good old Maurice dance whatever you want him to dance. Do you want him to do the Dougie? Do you want him to twerk, which was suggested heavily last time? God.
Now watch
good old
him
Maurice.
dip. Watch him nay nay.
Nay nay. Oh God, if you want him to do the nay nay, you can do that too.
So right now we're at $1,747.02 out of 15,000. So
47. Oh, so that means somebody just donated too.
Mm-hmm. You see
awesome.
See all the stuff there, the rewards, the polls, the challenges. Finn's is done, so he's host. Good job, guys. So yeah,
there is also mine. We'll have to get that audio going too. We do have the poll for me to wear a wig with glitter and rhinestones to the ACS dinner that will be on the Friday before the run, and that will be all for Kyrie, who is Dana Descent's adorable daughter, who had requested that. So there's that, as well as Grande wearing a shirt that says "I am CG Carey's pool boy," that he will wear on Saturday if that challenge gets filled. So you guys can donate to the American Cancer Society and have fun with us for the entire time as well through the Tiltify. Make us do a lot of stupid things. There's a lot of things that you can have. Plus, there is still the challenge for Tits to change her in-game name from Tits McVenom to Tits McVoltron until April 8th. So whenever you guys fill that challenge is when she'll change her name. So if we get that filled today, she's going to have like 4 months of that nonsense. God. So lots of challenges up there, lots of rewards. There's the polls also for Warrior Zeta. So if we can fill the challenge for Warrior Zeta, he will Zeta a character of our choice that is in the polls. And currently mission is about $1 ahead of Bodhi Rook, and Rose Tico has $10. So we see that happening. I am unfortunately basically relegated at this point to Rose Taco, I think. Unless somebody saves me. But yeah.
That ain't happening. Your tears are delicious, Finn. All right, and
you can make, and Andrew Sweeney, yes, go ahead and make good old Maurice do the Macarena. That is a valid dance for him to do.
Hey, Macarena.
All
right. So we are going to do the 3PO Grand Arena stuff next. So give us a few minutes. What time is it? It's 1:30. Probably 2 o'clock, Finn? What time?
Yeah, probably around 2 or so. We might start a little bit early. Come on the RSG Discord, and we'll put a video link in the media page so you guys can see it. Plus, if you're subscribed and you hit that bell, you should get a notification. So make sure that you check us out there.
All right. So get ready for tomorrow, guys. We got a lot of awesome stuff ready to go. So on behalf of myself and the RSG crew, thank you guys for being here today. We really appreciate it. Give a thumbs up on the video. Check out our Patreon. We got our Patreon going. If you'd like to become a Patreon sponsor, you can do that as well. Help support the channel with all the awesome stuff that we're trying to put out there for you guys. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Why not? We do a lot of live streaming. If you want to know about it, the best way to do it is to have the live stream going. So I think that covers